believe we are live.
All right, guys, we are live. All right, we're using a new software, so bear with me. First time back. Greg set this all up. Thanks to Greg for killing and keeping the show alive almost. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're on this Zoom thing here. This is episode 269 of the Shooter's Mindset. Co-host joining me, Jennifer Seymour's back.
Hey, everybody.
Greg Cannon, what's up?
Hey, everyone.
Guest star of the hour, Mark Quinn, Special Operations Charity Network. We're going to talk a lot about that. What's going on, Mark?
How you doing?
Doing all right. And welcome back, Keita Busse. What's going on, Keita?
Hey, guys.
Hopefully, did I say your name right? I hope I did.
Keita Busse. That's it.
Boom. Got it.
Big Yellow
All
Stool.
right. There we go. So we're going to talk about a lot. She got a new book out. What is it? Smart Move. We're going to talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
Going to get into that here shortly. Hit some sponsors here. The folks over at GSL Technologies. If you need a suppressor of any sort, pistols, rifles, long range, hunting, they got all you need over there. GSLTechnologies.com. Take a peek. Jen got her can. I know you guys probably talked about that last week, right?
Whoop, whoop. Love it.
So nice.
6.5 Creedmoor action, and she's finally set up. I think you're really fully set up as far as that long range stuff, right?
Yep.
So
Hooked. Hook, line, and sinker. No going back.
There we go. Questions, Q&A stuff, you can just post them on the live stream. I guess someone here will monitor those. I don't know who. We'll probably be posting these live streams throughout all of Facebook. And then they'll go on YouTube. So behind a little bit of news as far as the Shooter's Mindset goes, we're trying to get away from YouTube. I know Facebook's not the best option, but it kind of is right now as far as getting the audience going. So what we're doing is we're going to download this live stream and then upload them to YouTube after, because the whole Hangouts and Google Hangouts thing was just becoming a nightmare, and they were charging, and it was, you couldn't, I don't know. It was just all over the place. So we decided to use this Zoom application and software. TheShootersMindset.com, we let the website lapse. This is my fault. So we lost the website that was there. So Greg Cannon's working on getting the entire website kind of back up. So it is there, TheShootersMindset.com. We will try to start getting these uploaded to the website so you can watch there in the future. All right, let's kick this one off. For those who are unfamiliar with you guys, tell us a little bit more about yourself. We'll start off with Mark. Tell us a little bit more about your background, kind of how you got into this industry.
Well, first of all, I'm getting ready to retire. I just finished my tenure as a command sergeant major in the Army intelligence community, and I'll retire in January after 42 years. I've been shooting competitively since late 80s, early 90s, and got into USPSA and IPSC shooting in 2000. And right now I'm getting ready to transition to the civilian community, and currently I'm the vice president for donor and sponsor relations for the Special Operations Charity Network. What we do is, well, a little bit about our mission is to let no soft spouse or child behind to carry the burden alone. We're also establishing the highest standards of fundraising through our strategic partnerships with donors and sponsors, uniting them to put on excellent charity benefits and fundraisers. And one of those fundraisers is currently going on right now, and that has a number of packages, which I believe you're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here shortly. Actually, there's a scheduled post about to go on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page where it's going to have everything that's on there. Obviously, we're going to talk about it, but you guys can go reference this when it directly posts up. We'll have a link where you can get involved in this fundraiser and stuff like that. We're going to come back to more details. Keita, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Obviously, I didn't do my research, but we had you on the show in the past. It was kind of the beginning of 180 firearms training, and you were just kind of getting into that and opening that and going around and teaching everybody. How's that going? And tell us what's new.
Yeah, I was just a baby in what I did then. And I was so shy being on a podcast. I was like, hi, I'm Keita. I don't know what to say. Had a little bit more experience now. Well, I've been traveling all over the world teaching my movement classes. I'm the only person on the planet that I know of who teaches this stuff in detail. I know there are some firearms instructors who touch on movement a little bit in their shooting classes, but there aren't any other just movement classes that I'm aware of. So I started researching this in 2010. There was nothing out there as far as information on movement for the shooting sports. Just kind of watch videos of the top guys and try to do what they do is all there was. So I would watch those top guys and then compare that to other sports and say to myself, well, is this working? Is it not working? Does it make any difference either way? And then try to figure that out by testing my theories on the top shooters and then coming up with some drills and testing those on a lot of different shooters until I came up with some things that actually work, just, based on experimentation, kind of paving the way for something that doesn't even or didn't exist. I guess it does now. But I've been traveling all over the world doing what I do, and it's just so rewarding watching full seconds drop off people's times when they run through a stage.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you always get the friends that everybody kind of records their videos nowadays that they're shooting stages. And I remember a little while back, friends will show me their videos. Hey, what do you think about my run? And I was like, man, they'll shoot really well. However, you can just see their movement is real shaky. But it's hard to explain over I said, well, you need to improve your movement, but how do I really tell them how to improve it? It was like, dude, you're kind of like, I don't know if it was, I always tell, and this is probably a really shit reference, and Kitty, you can correct me, but I don't know. I always say, dude, act like someone's running behind you with a knife and move, get to the point. If someone's behind you about to harm you, you're going to boom, boom. You never run as fast as you ran in your life.
That's one thing I do in my classes. Sometimes I'll have someone like that who runs like a pussy because they have a gun in their hand. So I take away their gun and I say, okay, let's just race. We're just going to race. No guns, no targets, let's race. And we run through the same path that they took when they were shooting the stage, but we're racing. And they're so much faster. And I say, now, why didn't you do that when you had a gun in your hands? And say, oh, because of safety angles. Well, they know the safety angles. So then I give the gun back and we do it again dry. And I stand on a safe side of them and we race again with the gun in their hand. And they're usually the same speed as with no gun. Then we do it live and compare times. And just making that decision to run faster can take off full seconds. And they don't realize they're doing it.
That's something that's both like my strong point and my weak point. While shooting USPSA or 3-gun or something like that, is I'm tall, I have long legs, I could run fast. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, I just ran that so fast. I was at a full sprint there. And then I get back and I watch the videos. I'm like, yeah, I can't post this. I look like a fat kid trying to run for French fries or something.
That's another thing I figured out is there are a lot of different body types, and every body type has to move differently. So if you're a bigger person or if you're really tall, you're not going to be able to move explosively like, someone who has a typical athlete build. Mm-hmm. Instead, you sort of have to shift through positions and continue shooting the whole way. And even though you can take really long, big steps because you have long legs, that's actually slower because you're halting your weight in one step instead of catching it a little bit at a time. So it's more lurching and awkward.
Yeah, that and to slow myself down takes a lot more than Jen stopping. It happens a lot faster than Greg stopping because I'm kind of like a semi truck or something there, and it's
exactly
don't want to run over the fault line or something like that, which is another thing. You kind of got to balance the speed and then the actual overall time from point A to point B with acceleration and deceleration.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I teach people how to spend more time being at their full acceleration and less time speeding up and slowing down.
There we go. We're going to get back to this because I'm sure we can talk quite a bit on the movement stuff. So we're going to get into Mark to really tell us about the charity that you have on, the fundraiser that you have going right now.
Well, the website is www.specopscharity.com/fundraiser. And there are 4 packages. Right now, we're supporting a number of charities, our own Special Operations Charity Network, and of course, the SEAL Kids. one of our founders is one of the original founders of the SEAL Kids. We have a number of firearms packages. The sponsors, just some of the sponsors are Aero Precision, Taran Tactical Innovations. He's building a John Wick Glock for us. Mossberg, Axelson USA Tactical, and let me see here. Vortex. Some of the optics we have are Vortex. Let me see. Surefire. Who else? Aimpoint. They're a pretty big sponsor. Primary Arms. Another group out of Texas. They're providing a scope for us. If you're all familiar with Surgeon Rifles, they're providing a custom rifle package where the winner gets to actually go to Surgeon's factory and work with the gunsmiths to build their own custom rifle.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. And then, of course, can't forget Quarter Circle 10. Quarter Circle 10's providing a PPC rifle, a 9mm. And that'll go along with a Rock Island Armory 1911 style pistol, which Keto was actually happy to help get done for us. So it's all good. Some of our other sponsors are like Voodoo Tactical, Bronc Bags. I don't know if you've heard of Bronc Box or Bronc Bags. They're probably one of the premier custom options for carrying your firearms when you travel. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's probably one of the best boxes, one of the best bags I've ever seen. I know we looked at it at the NRA show together. That was pretty outstanding.
Those are cool.
Crudo Knives is another big sponsor, along with Peltor and then Spectre Targets. It's just some amazing packages. They range anywhere from roughly $9,300 all the way up to $10,500 in value. And what you do is you go on the website and you go to that link, www.specopscharity.com/fundraiser, and you click on the link for each package. It'll take you in and you can pick the number of tickets you want to buy. You get for the first ticket purchase or fundraiser purchase, you get 2 tickets for the price of one. One ticket is $20. One is $20. You're going to get 2 tickets for that. So, and you get more if you buy 10 tickets. If you pay for 10, you're going to get 15. If you pay for 20, you're going to get 30. So it's exponentially a pretty good package. And I mean, for a little bit of investment, you got a shot at winning some really good packages here. And also a couple of training packages provided by 180 Firearms Training, one of our top sponsors. So, and I got to tell you something, guys. Out of everybody that I've seen in the community, and I've seen a lot of them, she's got it nailed. There is nobody out there that teaches movement like she does. She breaks it down in the best possible way and gives some of the best possible feedback I've ever seen given to students, ever. And I've been doing this a long time. So
there we go. A little bit more on the actual charity. I mean, how are you different from the others that are out there? There's plenty of them.
Well, for one thing, we're all volunteers. Nobody gets paid a salary. 90% of the funds go directly to support special operations veterans and their families. I mean, that is our total goal. The rest of it, the other 10%, just covers administrative fees. I mean, you got to pay for your marketing, you got to pay for the events. You know, when you want to bring in somebody like the Lieutenant Dan band to perform at an event, you got to pay for that. It's not free. So, but nobody takes a salary at all in this charity whatsoever. And we're all veterans. Everybody involved comes out of either pretty much the intelligence community or the special operations community. So pretty unique. Been around for quite a while. I was actually the founder, one of the 6 founders of the original charity that this morphed out of. It was called the WAN Fund, and we used to put on an event called the Warrior Appreciation Night at SHOT Show every year starting in 2009. And that went all the way through until 2014 when we decided to move into the 501c3 space and create our own charity, which is what this turned out to be Special Operations Charity Network. So good stuff, good people involved. We do a lot of work with SOFX and GlobalSoft. They assist in helping us with our sponsors and donors, and they also assist in pushing. They're assisting in pushing out this information for the fundraiser. And it's gonna end on September 15th. So you got to get out there and buy your tickets. Absolutely.
What's that website again?
I'm sorry, the website,
Yeah.
www.specopscharity.com/fundraiser.
And yeah, that post just went up on the Shooters Mindset Facebook page with the packages, some sponsors, and the websites in the top right-hand corner of that image, as long as in the post. So you can always follow them on Facebook and social media as well. Special Operations Charity Network. You plug that in the search, you'll find it. Give it a like. What else we got here? Jen, anything new with you as far as matches up and coming? I know I kind of missed. I kind of want to hear about all this GSL can that you got going and all that set up and what you thought, but I'm sure you talked about it last show. But
we did a little bit. Yeah, I love the can. It's gonna take getting used to. It's a different recoil impulse, but it's so weird that it's quiet. I'm so used to the concussion from the break, but no, it was awesome. And I think my point of impact shift was like a half an inch low or something, where I had to re-zero off of it. So really no impact shift, no accuracy change. It was about the same as it was before. So I'm excited to take it to a match. The next match that I have is the gap grind.
okay, and that's in October, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
First weekend of October, the Pro-Am. So that'll be a good time and a good test of it. See how it runs.
Boom. There we go. Keita, the new book, Smart Move. What was this, 2-3 weeks ago you announced it, I believe?
Yeah, it just went up last week. This is it. Can you see that? Oh, my light's shining on it.
There we go. Man.
There we go. It's Smart Move, Economy of Motion for the Shooting Sports. So if you go to Amazon and just Google Smart Move book or Smart Move by Keita Busse, you will find it. And the cool thing about this book is that there are lots and lots of pictures.
Ooh, I like pictures.
And honestly, you could go through the entire book and just look at the captions on the pictures and basically figure out what's going on. And so if you're not really a textbook kind of person, you can read it kind of like a comic book. If you are a textbook person, I have a lot of text and all of my sources are cited, so you can check those out. At the end of every chapter, I have a bullet point summary, and it's also full of drills that also have a bullet point summary at the end. At the beginning, it gives you a list of what you need to do the drill. It shows a picture of the drill, explains the drill and how to do it and what you're looking for. And then at the end, there's a bullet point list just to sum it all up in case you don't want to read that whole thing. So you don't have to like books to like the book.
Pictures, summarize.
It appeals to a lot of different learning styles. Some people like a textbook and they want to read all that information, and some people just aren't into it, and that's okay too.
I'm big into the pictures, the color by numbers, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree there.
The price point was pretty high to have it in color, so unfortunately it's in black and white, but you can still, look at the pictures and make out what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's definitely not a deal breaker by any means, painting color. So, this obviously go to Amazon, check it out. One would ask, and I'm sure you probably heard this going around, like, if I'm indoor range is my practice and I got your book and I'm trying to kind of do all these movement things, and an indoor range is going to be difficult for most people, right? Or can that be done? Or is this dry fire kind of like do it in your home deal? You can just
you can do it in dry fire. Actually, I don't know if you know who Tim Heron is. He had an indoor range that he had to practice at all the time, and he posted a lot of interesting videos on how to make an indoor range work. Like, he would put a chair up on the little table you have on your lane, And then he would use that as a port to shoot from the outsides and the inside, use all different positions. So there are a few little things that you can do, but most of these drills involve setting up 4 or 5 targets. So that would be tough with just a single lane. Some indoor ranges will let you rent the bay during low volume times. So if you can work out a deal like that, you'll be able to do them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I work at a gun range. We do it when we close and stuff like that. But I definitely see that, just being a regular customer walking into an indoor range when it's packed and you're trying to, it's going to be a little bit tough. But we'll get it worked out, and then you can do most of it in a dry fire. Hopefully you guys live in like somewhere awesome where you can just shoot in your backyard and set up stages. That's always the bonus.
That's awesome when you can do that.
Yeah.
That would be optimum.
That'll be your ideal situation.
I do also have the quiet eye drill, which is more about, with movement, you have to train exactly where your feet are going to go during a stage. And you pre-program that during the walkthrough. You look at a fault line to make sure your foot's going to land in the right spot, things like that. Well, the quiet eye does the same thing, but for your eyes. And that you could do with a single lane. If you just have different size targets, put up one big target with different size dots on it, you could do the quiet eye drill with that.
Oh, there we go. We got some live on the Facebook, right?
We do. Let's see. Well, Mike Bell, our friend from here, says, good to, hey, y'all, long time no see. So come back to the range, Mike. I heard that you're getting back into competition, so come see us. Jim Rickner says, hey, guys. And Ryan Hayes says that he moves good with a precision rifle. And that comic books rock.
Oh, all right. Keep the live ones going. Keep the live questions and comments going. We always appreciate those. Speaking a little bit on back into the movement, I mean, you see some of these guys, sometimes it's hard watching some of these guys and you see where they finish and then you actually look at their video. So I kind of brought the example of a buddy sending me a video. He's a good shot. He does, he hits the target well, but his movement just looks erratic and looks like he can improve there. And then you'll see some guys who are finishing really on top of their game, your M, even some of your GM shooters. And then you look at their video and they don't look like they're moving fast at all. It's almost like, dude, what? He looks like he's just slow. And there's a couple competitors that come to mind, but they're always on top. So
stop moving.
Yeah, and you definitely will know if you really look close. You will notice how fluid their motion is, and nothing's wasted and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like they're hauling ass. It doesn't look like someone's chasing them with a knife. But they're always on top of the game.
And I do explain how to do that in the book as well. And that comes down to, again, different body types too. If you're very tall, you're going to have to keep shifting through positions. You're not going to move as explosively as someone who's built like an athlete. But for the athletic guys who do move explosively, then they have a harder time controlling their entries. So I cover all of that in the book too.
Yeah, you got like your JJ Ricazzo, like shredded, just like kicking up dust and moving all through the positions. And then you have like your Matt Hopkins and your Taran Butlers. Like these guys are moving almost as fast as JJ is, but it just doesn't seem like they are.
Right.
Which is totally different. And the body types are totally different. And it's weird how that all kind of plays out. So
yeah, you really have to move in a way that's best for you and your body type. And if you've had injuries, that's something else that I address with every drill is how to move for particular injuries so that you don't hurt yourself and so that you're moving in the way your body personally moves the most efficiently. And I've actually found that adding a step or two to a stage to move the way your body moves efficiently if you've had an injury ends up being significantly faster than trying to move the way everybody else does.
Here we go. Boom. I'm digging it. We're going to get into a discount corner here, try to save you some money from some great companies who support the show. Jen, you usually start us off with this. What do we have today?
Yep, you can get 10% off at carbonarms.us on Carbon Arms shotgun shell caddies, extension tubes, ratchet belts, all that good stuff. So check them out at carbonarms.us and use the code TSM10. You can also get 10% off of Under Industries jerseys, and you can just hit them up on Facebook and mention the Shooter's Mindset and you'll get 10% off. And I'll let Greg do the phone scope. I have a phone scope, a new phone scope discount code also, but I'll let Greg do that one since he had it first. Go ahead.
All right. So obviously the first code is Mindset10. That's all caps. It'll save you 10% off of all phone scope products. That is a really sweet product. I played around with a little bit this weekend. I took my parents out shooting and was able to put the phone scope on. And, you know, somebody that's never shot anything with more than a little extra reticle kind of trying to explain, you know, hold 1 mil left could be a little bit challenging. So instead I put the phone scope on and said, no, a little bit more left. Okay, right there. Now pull the trigger. And so I got both of my parents to shoot a target at 600 yards for the first time.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was fun. They seemed to enjoy it. I think my dad's been bragging all day at work to all the guys in the shop. And then you could save 10% off at Overwatch Offense with the code Cannon10. Shoot them an email or give them a call. You can awesome Sarah code job.
There we go. A couple on my end here, and then Mark, if you have any on the fly ones, we'll go to you, and then Keita. Taran Tactical Innovations, TaranTacticalInnovations.com, TSM10, save you 10% off their entire web store. Okay. Everything other than the gunsmithing packages. So if you want a John Wick lock or Benelli tricked out or 2011 STI John Wick, unfortunately, it won't get you 10% off those, but it will get you off all their base pads and all their parts and accessories. UMTactical.com, they got a lot of holsters over there and a lot of AR-15 parts. TSM10 saves you 10% off. UMTactical.com. And we hit the Carbon Arms one, and that's all I got. Mark, any on-the-fly kind of discount codes or anything like that you have?
I've got nothing for you right now, but you know what? The next time you have me on, I'll make sure I reach out and get some from our sponsors.
Boom, there we go. I mean, there's plenty. I mean, your sponsors are already doing a lot in those packages. I tell you what, if anybody's lucky enough to hit any of those,
that website again?
That's www.specopscharity.com/fundraiser.
Right, and you can find this stuff. We'll make sure we post it all below this video on the live stream and all that stuff. If you're referencing after the live chat and you don't want to watch all the way through, whatever, we'll have these links clickable where you guys can get it. And it's ending the 15th of this month, so make sure we take advantage. Don't slack on it and get in there now. Okay. So if anybody was on social media this morning, you would see it's a hot topic here. Walmart, Wally World, whatever you want to call it, has decided to do some things that I guess rattled the community. So they decided to stop selling rifle ammunition, and I believe
gun ammunition.
Also, yeah, I believe it's spurred out to handgun ammunition also, and they do not want you to open carry in their stores. So if you're in a state that allows open carry, Florida is not one of them, obviously. So not that I care much about open carry, but if you are one of those people and in those states that allow it, they don't want you to do it over at Walmart. All right. So I just wanted to grab everybody's thoughts. Obviously, hot topic.
Is it just open carry or concealed also?
So it's just open carry, and it's not I think they specifically said that their official stance is they do not want open carry in their store, but they're going to take a soft approach to enforcing it. Because historically, Walmart has literally been the place where people say, oh, I bought my first pistol and I could legally open carry, and the only place I can go and do this is at Walmart. If you follow AR15.com or any of those other things, there's lots of blading at 45, blah, blah, blah. So it's just kind of always been the place that people that got their gun, they put it in their Uncle Mike's holster, and they take their Taurus out someplace and go to Walmart. So that's not a thing anymore, apparently. But you know, they did say that they're not going to. It's not a rule; it's a suggestion, and it's a stance. But their removal of pistol ammunition is kind of, and it's pistol ammunition, and they called it short barrel rifle ammunition. So 223, 5.56, 300 blackout, and for some reason 224 Valkyrie.
Yeah, I don't get that one. That's a hot.
So they're still carrying your 308s and you're hunting your 30-06s and.
Yep. If you can't shoot a deer with it, they don't need it in the Walmart no more.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Sure.
you can shoot a deer with it.
I
Yeah.
was about to say you can shoot a deer with a
That's the fun
223.
I mean, you
Yeah,
just shoot a deer
224 Valkyrie is going to put a deer down all day long.
really far away too.
Yeah. So, here's the deal. I know a lot of us in competition shooters and stuff, most of us are hand loading and, or, you're plugged in the industry or, to go to these online retailers and order in bulk. And there's a lot of ways to string that. Right. So, but the only thing I find, like, especially working at a gun range, is I see how many, just like hobbyist shooters, people who just bought they own a gun or two. They come in with a white and blue Walmart bag with all their ammo, and they take their Glock 19 and they go and hit the range.
That's
So
how I started.
yeah, and I've Greg, you bought ammo from Walmart. I've bought it in a pinch.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I didn't either get a chance to load, or maybe I left my match ammunition. And we're in the middle of the forest, and the only thing you can usually find.
You would never do that, Anthony.
I've
You
done
just forget holsters and vests
I've done it.
I
done it.
IDPA vest.
and belts.
I've forgot every piece of gear there is, and I usually forget it one at a time.
Mhm.
Okay, so I show up to this match, and we're literally in the middle of the sticks in Florida somewhere, and the only thing that's nearby is a Walmart. All right, so what do? You go and you get all your Winchester white box 9mm, and you say, "Screw it, we're going to shoot this match with some factory loads." And there it is.
Don't be hating on the Winchester white box.
It's not. I mean, I've done it with Tula before.
I ran Tula in my AR exclusively for base style 3-gun for years.
Yeah.
At Walmart, it's $4.95 a box, and I could shoot anything inside of 50 yards with it, and I've never had a malfunction with it. That wasn't something dumb I did, like break the receiver or not see the magazine.
There we go. So your on the fly pinch Walmart ammo is no longer going to be available, unfortunately. However, I do see this being good news for the mom and pop gun shops. You got to go in there and purchase ammo and support them. That's a good deal. Your Bass Pro Shops and all those other companies and Cabela's and all those, if they're still around, I don't know. I think Bass Pro bought Cabela's or something like that.
Bass Pro and Cabela's are both still things.
Yeah, so you can go in and support those companies. Coming down to Pembroke Gun Range, if you're in the South Florida area, we'll sell you some ammunition. It's a little bit on the high price, but we'll sell it to you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, hey, it's like popcorn at a movie theater. You got it, you got to pay for it if you want it. So,
do you put extra butter on it?
No. It is high quality MagTech 115 grain FMJ ammunition. If that doesn't matter, but it's still up there. But hey, come on down, support the gun shops. We appreciate that. But however, it does suck all around. Like I said, the YouTube things that I kind of hit this on the beginning. YouTube is demonetizing all gun channels. If you have half of a following, let alone one of these big gun channels out there, your videos are no longer really being monetized, so you're no longer getting that AdSense money. And the ones that they're being real selective with the ads that they're allowing on these gun videos on YouTube, and a lot of them are actually anti-gun ad promotions. So, hey, my Glock 19 review. Here's my thoughts, and then right before your video, you've got some
Viagra.
Yeah, either it's not Viagra. I would almost prefer that commercial over like some anti-gun campaign or like an anti-Trump. Even though I don't want to go down that thing, but those are just ads that you might not even agree with on your video. So some people are just completely demonetizing everything when it has to YouTube, whatever's left of it. Patreon, I heard, is another company that don't want you to post links. So even like the special operations charity link, if it has anything to do with firearm related content, like we're giving a Sergeant rifle away in a big package, stuff like that, they do not want that link. Even though it's a charity deal, they are feeling some type of way on Patreon about it. So a lot of these big channels are moving to Patreon to make up that AdSense revenue, and getting people to fund it that way. Patreon's jumping on that board again. So Patreon is also in the hole with YouTube and Facebook and IG and all the other ones.
PayPal just actually shut us down. We were down for a week and a half. We had to change and go to our own funnel through our banking partner to get it done.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, PayPal's been this way for quite a bit. You know, you can have thousands and thousands of dollars in there, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you can't access it because they froze your account. And I don't know what the process is to get it unfroze, but that is the case with PayPal also. eBay, Amazon.
They won't unfreeze it. What they do is they return it to the individuals that made the donation or made the purchase. You won't get it.
Okay, so there you go. You're asked out. That's there it is. So we're running out of. It's sad to say, but we're running out of sources. There's very small companies who are trying to come up and do this, and then unfortunately, it's like you can go to them, but your view count is next 0 to nothing because no one knows about suchandsuch.com or something like that. So for now, we're going to be live streaming these on Facebook and then uploading to YouTube afterwards just to get these seen, essentially, from folks. What else we got here? Off the Walmart. We're off that topic here. Nothing to add, Jen, on that deal? Nobody? Yeah.
I don't go to Walmart anyway.
Yeah.
It's so entertaining, though. Last time I was there were like.
I work in an ER.
Not with their butt cheeks hanging out.
I work in an ER. I see that at work. I don't need to see.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather order online and not have to see people.
Yeah. Immediately, someone posted an article saying Walmart discontinues auto parts sales to prevent car accidents. So you click on that website and there's like a whole article.
More sense.
A whole article on that, and someone posted that like almost immediately after everybody was sharing the news. I thought that was pretty funny. I shared it on my personal Facebook page, but it's circling around the webs now. Okay. What else we have? Upcoming events, matches, or goals. Keita, we'll start off with you. What do you have upcoming here?
Oh boy, I'm shooting a 3-gun match in Colfax, Wisconsin this weekend. Not really something I do a whole lot, borrowing everything, but it's fun. I'll be in Richmond. I'll be in California next week, so I've got a class in Richmond, September 10th and 11th. You can email me at 180firearmstraining@gmail.com if you want to register for that class. I still have some openings. I'll be in Tulare, California, September 13th and 14th. You can also email me at 180firearmstraining@gmail.com for that one. Then I'll be at Limited Nationals at the end of September. Then all of October, I will be in South Africa, which I'm super excited for. I have one class full, but Port Elizabeth, I have a couple of slots left, October 14th and 15th. You can email Doreen Lau. It's Doreen, DOREEN COX@gmail.com. I also have openings in Pretoria, October 26th and 27th in South Africa. Then November, I'll be in Asia. I'm shooting the Australasians, and that's in the Philippines this year, which is so much fun. I love the Philippines. I love the Filipino people. October 19th and 20th at the Front Sight Range after the match, I'll be putting on a movement class. So you can contact Bob Saho if you want to register for that. And then last one in December, I will be in Florida. Date and location is yet to be determined, but you can contact Joe Draghi. It's JDRAGHI at GreatDaneProperties.com. That's jdraghi at GreatDaneProperties.com if you would like to register for that class. I think it'll be in the Tampa area, but we haven't quite decided yet. And that one's filling up fast, even though we don't have a date or location.
Everybody's just jumping on that. That's cool. And I know I've hosted some of these classes. Like, you know, if you want to bring some of these instructors down, like Keita, and there's many others, you know, you kind of get, you know, you kind of do the legwork, try to get all your local guys in this, fill up the class, and you usually have it hosted nearby where you don't have to travel too far.
Right.
I'm sure you can contact her if you want to bring her down to your state or something, or your local range, and you can coordinate
Yeah, and if
that.
you organize it and you get it filled, you get a free slot. So bonus.
There it is. Yeah, that's
But
the
I
way
might also ask to crash on your couch.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sure that's not so you don't get many no's when it comes to that one. But yeah, so right. But yeah, I think I missed you down here in Homestead. The Homestead's about 45 minutes. Yeah, I kind of missed that one. But we need to bring you down either back to Homestead, or we can do it either at indoor range. It would probably be more beneficial to do it down at Homestead in an outdoor range. So we'll try to bring you down here. I need it. It's been a while. You know, I I usually did at least a big class like that, or try to do an instructor class, you know, be it with the Vogels or somebody like that, at least once a year. And I've been lacking on that recently. So we need to do something.
Yeah, and it really, taking a class really gives you sort of like a new girlfriend syndrome for your shooting. It motivates you again.
It does.
No matter who you take a class from, there are a lot of good classes out there.
Yeah, indeed. So I wanted to hit this one here. You just kind of announced South Africa, Asia, Philippines, all these places that you're traveling to, shooting overseas matches. All right. This can be overwhelming for a lot of shooters. Maybe it's their first time traveling outside the States or whatever. Doing it for the first time, what are your advice, and how is this mainly done? I know it kind of varies from country to country, but
yeah, it really depends on the country. So since I travel so much, a lot of times I will actually borrow a gun for out-of-country classes, depending on what country it is and how much paperwork it is. Actually, Canada is one of the worst ones for paperwork. But usually you contact the consulate for whatever country you're going to, and you'll have to fill out some sort of paperwork, and you need a match invitation if you need a reason to be bringing a gun into their country. So you need a match invitation from the regional director, and that's what you present at the airport. And because we have the Second Amendment, we don't have firearms licenses, but they want to see some sort of official document stamped by our government. So you can use Form 4457, which is actually just a customs form. So all it's saying is, this was mine when I came here, and so I'm going to leave with it too. It has nothing to do with firearms, but they see that, they see the stamp, and they go, oh, okay. And they just list all the firearms on the document.
Okay. So so for the most part, your match coordinator or your match director or someone who's hosting that match is pretty much going to streamline this process for the most part.
Usually, yeah.
But you're also training, so you're doing most of this stuff. Like, you really don't have many people to coordinate unless there's somebody over there who's hosting a class, and you can probably coordinate with them. But for the most part,
no, I usually just do it all on my own. I mean, I've done it enough for enough different countries. I kind of know the drill.
There it is. Yeah, it tends to turn people off. So the only one I've been to, and it's not real, obviously it's a U.S. territory still, but it's actually really, really different. So going to Puerto Rico, I shot a couple matches over there before. It was very, very easy. So the match coordinator or someone regarding match sign up, whoever is in charge of that, you actually have to get a firearms license from pretty much the Puerto Rican police or the police.
Like a
over
temporary.
there. Yeah, it's a temporary from your duration of stay, essentially. So they kind of do all that submitting of the paperwork for you. I think you just have to submit like some type of photo so they can put it on there. And then you just, honestly, the flight over here there was no issues with anything. Obviously, we're still kind of U.S. territory thing, so it changes obviously from country to country. But actually, the airport thing was no issues flying over there. There was no issues flying back. There was absolutely just went to the hotel, did a dry fire before, went to the match. It was like we're shooting a regular match. You just had to carry around this ID just in case you did run into the police over there for some reason.
Something else to keep in mind, in the U.S., you can travel with your firearm in a locked hard side case in the same bag as your ammunition that's in factory cases. But if you're traveling internationally, you have to have them in separate suitcases. And a lot of times they'll want you to have a lock on the outside of the suitcase, which is retarded because the suitcases are made out of cloth. So a lot of times I'll just carry extra locks inside my suitcase just in case, somebody's being a dick.
Yeah.
Also, like for the 2011 World Shoot over in Greece, we had to ship a lot of our ammo because you can only carry so many pounds of ammo with you into certain countries. So probably 80% of our ammo had to be shipped.
I've never had anyone actually take the ammo out of my bag and weigh it. I know of people who have had that happen to them. So it's kind of a gamble if you take more than the 11 pounds. But what they ask you is it under 11 pounds? And then if you say yes, they usually don't check.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes they'll get someone who's going to check.
Don't snitch yourself out. Nah, I think I got about 13 and a quarter in there, you know.
Or they might ask how many boxes, and then the answer is 4. You have 4 boxes.
There it is.
In Greece, they actually had a military team there weighing all of our ammo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
That's after you got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll still take it.
There it
So
is.
they can confiscate it. If you come in with more than 11 pounds, they'll confiscate it, which they did for a few people.
Oof. All of it or just the excess?
Excess. That's why we shipped. Most of the U.S. team shipped. We probably shipped easily 1,000 rounds each because we knew we were going to be training. For the World Shoot, you shoot half day and then you have a half day off. So what you're doing is you're going to the practice ranges and you're watching all the stages you're getting ready to shoot the next day, and you're going to go practice those in the practice range. You're going to go through 500 rounds or more just in training.
Another option is when you shoot an international match, a lot of times they'll have match ammo available that you can purchase, and then you don't have to chronograph because it's not your ammo that you've tested in your gun with a chronograph. So you don't have to chronograph. It just automatically qualifies. It might not be the exact load you like, but at least you'll have ammo and you don't have to worry about getting bumped to a division you don't want to be shooting.
I know I've only researched shooting one out of the country match, and that was the Guardian long range match. They have a match this year in Ireland. Apparently they're going to start doing it every other year now. And they had like an entire page of like, this is exactly what you do. Click here, fill out this form, put this in your bag. When you show up at the airport, bring your gun here. We have lockers here for them because, you know, we don't want to worry about the laws. If you drive from the airport to here, lock your gun up, shoot the match, do your stuff, grab it, and then go home. So they did a whole lot of research kind of ahead of the curve for you, so you don't have to look at all that. And that, from what I hear, a lot of matches are similar to that.
I shot the Canadian Nationals 3 different times, and it was actually easy. The RD, the regional director for Canada, had made all the connections with their version of Customs and Border Patrol, and all you had to do is have the right forms with you, and it was easy to get across the border with all your gear.
In the Philippines, they actually take care of most of the paperwork for you. You just have to send them like a copy of your passport and, you know, whatever documents they ask for, and they submit everything, and then they have their guys come and meet you at the airport.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you get through security there okay.
Boom. I'm digging it. So the key of this whole conversation is don't just go ahead and shoot, man. Just go ahead and shoot those international matches. Go. Don't be afraid. Get in there, sign up, register, support it, get out there. And I'm sure, you know, when, you know, if you get out there, you take a little few days, enjoy the country you're in. I mean, obviously, you know, do it.
And I would definitely recommend getting there a couple days in advance.
Oh, yeah.
One, you don't know if something's going to go wrong, if you're going to have a delayed flight, and you don't want to get delayed into the match and miss time you should be shooting. But another thing is the time zones are so different. When I go to Asia, I like to get there 3 days before just to acclimate, and the weather is so different too. So I go from, you know, November in Wisconsin to this tropical Filipino weather. So it helps you sort of get used to everything before you shoot. Otherwise you'd be amazed how messed up you can get on jet lag. I actually intentionally shot at a space in between 2 targets at a match because I was so jet lagged I couldn't think straight.
Wow.
Jet lag is crazy.
Keita, wouldn't you say the Philippines is probably one of the most shooter-friendly countries in the world right now for competition?
Well, they love shooting. They're so passionate about guns and firearms, and they're all shooting from such a young age. They did just have a gun ban because of the elections. Every time they have an election year, they ban guns completely until it's done, and it just finished up. So
That's crazy.
but they
That's
love to
insane.
shoot.
Oh, we can go down that. We can go
I was
down
about to say that would not go over well here.
Yeah.
We'd
We
have
go
another
down that.
civil war.
Yeah, we can go down that. It's like interesting. So let's take everybody guns so nobody shoots the politicians running, right? And so we can all get them safely, and then you guys can all have it back once we get that guy protected. So interesting. We had a live one. What do we have?
Let's see. Well, Ryan Hayes said Shane Cooley's footwork is wizardry. I can't talk tonight. It's been a long week.
He's explosive.
Yes. And he's right. Yeah, his footwork is amazing. And Dave says South River Gun Club is a great venue. I'm assuming for a class. So
Yeah.
Yes, I've taught at South River before. It's a very nice facility.
There you go.
So Dave, set up a class and organize it, and you'll get a free class.
There you go.
And you'll get Keita on your couch.
There
Yes.
must be wine. I'm just kidding.
There we go.
Sort of.
Yeah, there you go. Geez, I had a thought in my head and just left.
Was it wine?
I just had a thought. I was gonna go somewhere. I was gonna go in the perfect direction, like I was leading somewhere else, and then poof, gone. So I don't know, Greg. What do you got? Bail me out of this awkward pause here.
Here, Keita, I got you some wine.
I have cucumbers. It's all gone.
Naked grape.
Cucumber water.
Interesting. All right. I think we can wrap this one up unless we have any live that pops in here.
I got
good.
something.
What do you got?
Hey, what's that website?
Huh? My
what's
website?
that website address? What's the website address for
Mark.
charity?
www.specopscharity.com//
See, now everybody's on
Forward
it.
slash.
Yeah.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave said he has already. Then he has a nice guest room. So apparently, you're getting upgraded from couch to. I'm assuming there's a bed if the guest room is nice.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Keita,
I
you
can
said you
stay
had
in a
something.
hotel too. It's no big deal.
Yeah. You said you had something to add?
Yeah. I really enjoy supporting, small family-owned businesses in the industry. And Liberty Gun Lubricants is one of those small businesses, family-owned. So I'm supporting them by doing a promo code. It's KITA10, capital, all caps, KITA, and the number 10. So if you go to Liberty Gun Lubricants and punch that in, you'll get 10% off. And I don't get anything from it. It's just for you guys. But they have some interesting products. I don't know. I just like helping out smaller businesses, helping them get started.
There we go. Any other discount codes? I think I skipped you on that portion of the show for some reason.
Hey, Keita, what about those shooting glasses you're wearing now?
Oh, yeah. The Hunter's HD Gold, they are all the rage. What I really like about them, other than that I can look like a 70s porn star, is that
I was gonna go there. As like I see everybody wearing them.
Child molester, I don't know.
I see people wearing them, and I just can't get behind the look of some of them. But you go ahead.
Well, I feel like it kind of suits me.
There you go.
I dig the 70s porn star look for myself personally. But what I really like about them is you get a significant competitive advantage because you get an extra 30 minutes of daylight. And I don't see it a whole lot in the US. Well, I haven't seen it, but in other countries, a lot of times they'll start really early in the morning or start shooting late into the evening and the sun just isn't there. You get a significant competitive advantage if you have daylight and nobody else does.
Yeah, agreed. And they do have they have sportier, we'll say sportier
They do, yeah.
models. So you usually
just
see
like making fun
you
of
should see
Brian.
these competitors with like these big yellow, lenses on, and you're like, what? That has no, you know what I mean? But you know, they're
look back in the 90s and look at Jerry Micklick and some of these guys like Jerry Barnhart. They were wearing those kind of glasses.
Yeah. So there.
Well, the yellow really makes your targets pop, especially if the background is green. The contrast between your targets and the background is immense. It's so much easier to pick up your spot on your target.
There you go. And they're big supporters of shooting sports. So you see them all over the Steel Challenge, that game. You see them in USPSA in that game. You see them sponsoring matches and throwing product on table. So for that, I definitely want to try a set. Maybe one of their sportier glasses, and we just appreciate the folks over at Hunters HD for really supporting the game that we play and love so much.
Yeah, I know they sponsor one of the guys that we shoot with locally a lot, and I tried his on a couple months ago, and I was overly surprised at just how much I was trying to figure out how we were shooting an indoor match, and he's probably 20 years older than me. And, someone would shoot and he'd be like, that's 2 alphas, Alpha Charlie, 2 alphas, Alpha Charlie, just while the person's shooting, standing back behind the line. I'm like, how are you doing that? And he's like, dude, you got to try these glasses. And I put them on. I was like, oh, wow, I see now.
I do that in my classes all the time when someone's having a hard time hitting their spot on the target. And they're wearing dark lenses or something, I'll take them away and let them use mine and say, now try it. And they all of a sudden hit all alphas. And they're like, what did you do to me? Then they switch back and they're like, I want those back. Yeah, especially in low light, like indoor shooting ranges, it's huge. Huge advantage.
Yeah.
I have changed variety of lens styles and colors over just like working with other instructors. Maybe I remember first time kind of a light bulb went off was I was doing a class with Morgan Allen, and he used, and I think Morgan Allen has a little bit of like his eyesight. He had a little bit of eyesight issue, so he has to use a specific lens and a certain shade. And I believe at the time I was all black, kind of Oakley's, like I want to look like a badass fucking shooter. He's like, dude, try these. I think they were Rudy projects or something like that. But he didn't really promote the company. He's like, just check out the shade of these the lenses and tell me if you see something different. And my fiber optic on the front side just completely popped, totally in a different way. I believe they were like a reddish tint kind of lens. And then indoor ranges, after that, I think I at a point I switched to all clear. Okay, and then at an indoor range, I guess with your eyes too. Yeah, with shooting a lot of indoor, and then I guess I got a little bit older. All of a sudden, I wasn't picking up the sight very well. It was seemed fuzzy. It just wasn't right with the clear ones. And then I went to these Oakley Prism militaries. These guys run them, and I've been running those ever since. And it's just been, and it's always been Oakley. So this is the same Oakley lens, black clear, and now I'm here. So I've noticed it's different either with age, just the changes that come with that, and indoor, outdoor, maybe your green fiber optic, red fiber optic, or you're running some type of night sight or something like that. You play around with these lenses and you'll see a significant difference.
You know what? I got to tell you, when I got back from Iraq in 2005, I saw a huge difference in my ability to actually focus on the front sight, and it was my eyesight. So now what I have is shooting glasses that give me an immediate front sight focus. That's where the focal point is. Something you might look at trying. It actually does work.
There it is. Yeah,
That's another thing with the Hunters HD Gold too. You can pick up the fiber more easily, I think. And they're also photochromatic, so they change. If it gets really sunny out, they change, so you don't have to be preoccupied with changing your lenses to a darker lens.
There you go. There we are. Any last minute live stuff that we can get, and then if not, we can kind of wrap this one up. Anything?
Website?
www.specopscharity.com/fundraiser.
There we
Get
go.
on it.
Thanks again for having me on this.
Yeah, right. Greg, what do you got? Anything last minute here? Clean up.
Let's see. Mike Bell said the emoji with the eyes like this.
Do the face again real quick. Hold on. There it is. That's the emoji.
Dave said, shout out to the Memorial 3-gun match at the Griffin Group, September 12th to 15th, in support of the Gold Star families. And Tony said, great show tonight. Happy shooting, everybody. GJ said, HD Gold for the win. Brian Coonley, great for the drive home after the match as well.
There it is.
Yeah, that's true. They're really good for night driving.
I need to get with GJ because I he's local here, and usually when I'm shooting at local matches, I'll catch him. So maybe I'll throw on a pair of his HD golds and see if I see the difference.
Yeah. So I'm looking at. I always get distracted and I end up on websites during the show. That's when you see me all like zoned out and stuff. But apparently they also offer prescription lenses as well, which is good for me that's blind. Just general information for anybody that's curious. They also offer bifocals and trifocals.
Yeah, and any of you who have prescriptions, if you can find an optometrist who will allow you to bring your firearm with you to the office, really that's the only way to get a proper prescription for shooting. You need to be looking at your sights, target focus and front sight focus, so that they can figure out what you need for your prescription. And then they can send that to Brian Conley and he can put that in the lenses for you. And I don't think it's no extra charge to have a prescription added to the lenses.
There you go. If you're in the South Florida area, I know a shooting buddy whose full-time job is the eye doctor ding. So if you're in the South Florida area, we'll get you bringing a gun to his office. I'm sure he's fine with that.
Now, there's also an alternative you can use that my optometrist uses. She has me hold my grip out, and then she measures exactly 5 inches off of the front of my grip, and that gives a pretty accurate front sight placement if you can't bring a firearm. Or you could bring an airsoft gun. That'll work too.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go. So, Jen, any last-minute wrap-up stuff, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
All right, we'll wind this one down here to shout-outs. Greg, we'll start off with you this time. What do we got?
Unmute yourself. Might help.
Thanks, Mom. Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta, our local ranges. Great place to go practice, shoot. We got all sorts of matches going on up there. Overwatch Defense for an awesome Cerakote. PDC Custom for a really sweet rifle chassis. I talked to Craig last week. He's working on one for my new CC457. Can't wait to try that one out. NDZ Performance, if you want to build yourself a really sweet Gucci Glock. Phone Scope for a really awesome training aid. And also, you cannot be more lit for the gram than Phone Scope videos right now. And then also, we're just adding now Shooter's World Propellant for some awesome gunpowder.
There we go. Yeah, it's all about got to be lit for the gram, and you can do so with Phone Scope videos, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Jen, what do you got?
Shout out to GSL Suppressors for keeping me civilized and
Thank you.
quiet and helping my ears. No one asked you.
She's upset.
He just
about
doesn't
that
like
mommy comment.
Yeah, that and the bifocals.
I didn't tell the world that you wear bifocals.
Well, now we know.
Oh, my bad.
There we go.
Back to my shout outs.
No, but I think she looks good in glasses, though. So.
Yeah, let's see them. Come on, let's
put those things on.
I just
totally turned to it. Eyewear.
Ooh.
There it is.
Excuse me. Can you tell
First
me which aisle Keita's new book is on?
What
I was asking the librarian what aisle your book is on.
Oh, there you go.
All right, there we go. Them shout outs. What do we got?
Hey, let me give a shout out to all the sponsors that have actually come and come to the table for the fundraisers. They've put up a lot, over $40,000 in product. You just can't beat that. These are some great people and some great companies. So don't forget about them. They're out there in the community and they need you to buy product from them.
That's awesome.
Jen, did you wrap up your shout outs there or no?
Macmillan Stocks, Night Force Optics, Warren Scope Mounts and Bipods, Under Industries for great jerseys, Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta, where I may or may not shoot someone next time I'm there with them.
Oh shit, that's me.
And Phone Scope for awesome videos. We shot some golf balls. That was fun through the phone scope. And We Bad for keeping me solid.
There you go. Keita, shout outs. What do you got?
Well, I'm going to mention where you can find me. If you want to find me on Instagram, I'm Keita Busse, KITABUSSE. On Facebook, same thing. I also have my 180 Firearms Training page on Facebook, and I have a 180 Firearms Training coaching page. Also, very soon to launch, I will have a website, finally, and that will be 180firearmstraining.com. As far as shout-outs, thanks to ArmScore, Rock Island Armory. You guys rock.
There you go. Shout out to my end here. What do we have? Where are my shout outs? Subscribe to the channel, or I guess, yeah, you can still subscribe to the Shooters Mindset channel. We will put these over there. But however, right now our main streaming service is going to be the Shooters Mindset on Facebook Direct until we can figure out how to kind of like get everything live together. If we can do it on Instagram, we're going to try to figure that out also, where we can live stream these shows. But every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're doing new episodes of the Shooter's Mindset. We're currently booked to the middle of October right now, so I kind of got a little fire lit under my ass and actually started reaching out to people and getting some dates for future shows. Folks over at Tandem Cross, for all your rimfire 22 caliber needs, they also have some centerfire stuff. Check out tandemcross.com. If you want to email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com is a good way to do that. Definitely thanks to Keita and Mark for taking time and talking with us tonight. Appreciate that. And that'll do it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you having and if you guys have anything new, if you guys have another fundraiser or something in the future, Keita, you put out another book or whatever, you're in the area, just let me know. We'll get you right back on. No problems here. And that'll do it for episode 269 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We're out of here. However, we decide to stop video on this.
Yes, we have stopped video, and now